Mean just that, be sure to hit the like button, share this content, let that friend or that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. That's including the ice wall, baby. As they say, one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. You're stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. That's what they doing. They searching for fortune and fame, Cowboy Nation. But that's okay. That is extremely okay. Cowboys Dak Prescott trade. Okay. Micah Parsons updated news. Plus more. More and more. Come on, baby. And remember to smash upon the like button. Come on with it. I need to see y'all smashing. Come on with it.
Ready? Running from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
Sharing is caring, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, and
swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Are you not entertained?
Are you shitting me?
All right. Are you shitting me? When you break your head on that gorilla.
and
I gave you everything.
come on with it. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Let's get it. Come on with it. Appreciate everybody, man. Hope all is well with you all. Fantastic day. Shout out to everybody that's been following and subscribing to the channel. And I really appreciate you so much. Shout out to you, J-Biz. Shout out to you, Duck Face. What's good with you? Sadiq, Nick, I'll do it. Appreciate you. I rock. And who else, man? Who's the first person in here? I say, what's good? Larry and Biggest. Appreciate y'all. So the trade Rain Dakota Prescott thing. I want to tell people with full transparency that the off season is long. I'm talking about if you look at a picture of Jay Leno's chin, it's longer than that, right? If you look up a picture of Shaq's feet, it's longer than that. The off season is long and people run out of material. So one of the things that they tend to do is lie to Luke Kane. They lied to Luke Kane. Let me say this once again for those who's not understanding. They will lie to Luke Kane and they don't have no shame to it, right? And they will dismiss their particular parts of it, and then they will come back and say, you know what, my sources was wrong.
Shame.
And the people with the low-hanging fruit of the mindset will buy and take on this stuff like left and right, you know, in the lies. They travel all around the world before the truth get out of the bed, right? The truth takes its time. Now, the reality of it is that at this point, those that seasonal enough, they should understand where they get their content and info from, right? They should know. Right? They would know whether or not something is real, tangible, or something is fake news. But I get it. You know, people do crazy things, and people do also what they want to do. But we're going to deliver the truth regardless of whether or not you like it or not. Right, Cowboy Nation? So at the end of the day, the off season is long. the off season is long, you know, and time during the season goes by real fast, but time during the off season is slowly. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I get it. I understand how people feel about everything. But let's get right to it. Let's give this man his 15 minutes of shine, you know, and let's go with it. And that's why when you first look at this video, I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Yeah. You first look at the video. Here's how you know somebody's about to lie. When they trying to convince you and they rolling their head. Nobody even heard of this smooth guy, right? And he's too old for be lying. This man, hey man, he's up there with Jerry and them. He's too old. That's why, truth be told, matter of fact, he may not be that old. He may be only 40, 45, but age has bestowed upon him in a weird way from telling all of them lies, you know. All right, come on with it. Let's listen to this guy.
Get ready.
Here we go. Look, let's tune in to the nation right quick. You see how he take the glasses off? Let's listen to him.
Get ready for this one.
Uh-huh.
I got a pretty darn good source within the Browns organization. Couple. I heard since our last show that part of the reason Myles Garrett was so willing to sign this extension for contract, money. The Browns are negotiating as we speak with the Dallas Cowboys for a trade for Dak Prescott.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Nobody is willing to sign a contract on potentials, right? Like, yeah, I'm going to sign my money on the potential aspect that you guys allegedly is talking to Dak Prescott. When he is literally from Texas and he can get on the horn and call somebody and say, is this a valid reason? Come on, y'all. People will fall for everything, right? And everything is also meant to be sold, you know, and that is the craziest thing of it all. Keep in mind, to be fair, maybe they are talking about a Dak that's going to get traded to the Browns, but his last name is not Prescott. Maybe it's Shipley. Who don't we have a guy on the team named Dakota Shipley? You know, maybe that's who he's referred to. But it's for dog sure ain't Dak Prescott.
And Garrett got all giddy about it. Why, I don't know. We're not going anywhere with Prescott, even if they pull it off. Newsom's part of it, and draft picks. Now, Prescott has a hamstring injury as we speak, and he may not be ready for the start of training camp.
Won't you lean forward just a little bit? Now, his close sources are not closer than what sources I have for sure, right? Because I seen Dak Prescott move around. I absolutely got a chance to talk to the Prescott's family, right? So it's not like what his sources are opposed to our sources are. And we are seeing this guy walking around and still able to throw the football. Come on, man.
Damn, Dak Prescott.
Boy, people be reaching, man. Stretch Armstrong right here, man. Come on, man.
But this comes from a couple of different sources. And
man, you shorten your years on this planet, bro.
Worth, if it does come about, remember where you heard it first.
So he want to do the Ray J now. Oh, man, I'm Ray J in this thing, man. I hit it first, you know. Yeah, tell that guy to lean forward just a little bit. Slapped him back young. Slapped him back old. This Rodney Dangerfield. That man, they say he about 24, 25. Real talk, you know. But he about him lying so much. He got that man looking older than Jerry over there, man. But hell, I got sources too. Ain't that right, TA? And put it like this: it takes two to tangle. Look, no offense to Cleveland, but nobody is willing to move from Texas to Cleveland. No offense to the area, and if you from Ohio or wherever the Browns play, y'all don't like it there. Y'all don't even like it there. Y'all living in Cleveland right now saying, man, I'm ready to get up out of here. Potholes everywhere, cold, man, 4 degrees, man. Come on, man. Let me get on down to the south, man. On top of that, you know, at the end of the day, Dallas itself, I just left North Texas. We were doing an event earlier this morning. Man, they finna build a Universal Studios here. Man, they finna build a casino layout and everything. That's like literally you making money hands over fist for just being in Texas. And on top of that, nobody wants to involuntary themselves to pay some doggone state taxes. So if people would say, yeah, Dak Prescott will waive his trade clause, naysayer for what? Why would you do that? Nobody's moving out of Dallas to Cleveland. I'm for real. Nobody. And on his contract, and within the languages of it, yes, it states Dak Prescott contracts includes a no trade clause. So, yeah, tell that man to leave for it. You know, he forgot everything. And people can have their conversations within the confines of the Browns room, right? So for 30 years, for 30 seasons, we've been having all conversations over here, too, in Cowboys land. Yeah, this is our year, Cowboy Nation. We going to the top, right? We say that every year. Doesn't mean that it's going to go through, too, by the way. Jeez.
Damn! Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Cleveland is Siberia, you know what I'm saying? You got the Cleveland Browns owner don't want to be in Cleveland, right? He probably don't even stay in Cleveland. You got Cleveland Brown fans that won't be in Cleveland. You don't hear people saying, hey, man, I'm finna go to Cleveland. I'll pick Cleveland over any other. Look, that's where you go to die. So who willing to move there? No, they send you there for punishment, you know. Yeah, for atonement right now, you're going to get drafted by the Cleveland Browns. You're going to have you might have a good future, but it's not going to pay out the way you want. Shame.
Shame. Shame.
Yeah, people right now says, hey, man,
Shame.
I can't stand off and telling the truth about Cleveland, man. I can't wait to go down here to the South, man, and move to Texas. Yeah, shoot. Jeez. Yes, indeed. A homeless man in Dallas is living like a man that makes $40,000 to $50,000 in Cleveland. True story. Yeah. They stood on a corner. Look, keep in mind, we get 9,000 people a month to move to Dallas. Ain't nobody trying to move up out of here. That's just the reality of it, you know. Bro, the stadium is even cold in the summer. Yeah, LT, right? Yeah. But it's news. It's stuff that people like to throw out and see what can stick. And, you know, it's not sticking, dog. It's not. But the whole storyline with Micah Parsons and his contract, it takes 3 sides of it to go through when you're telling the story. Right? His side, their side, and the truth. The reality of it is that some news done leaked out too quickly about the original contract situation. And the Cowboys front office, this is what they do. They negotiate the best way possible with an old school spit in their hand, shake their hand type of thing, you know. And before y'all say, nah, man, don't spit in my hand, Jerry, you know, before I shake that hand. We talking about $250 million, right? I know somebody in the chat right now say, man, Jerry can spit all in my hand right now. I decided for $250 million. I'm just joking, you know. And my guy says, even LeBron James got sick of being in Cleveland. Yeah, he did the right thing, though. He helped Cleveland get one. But the truth shall set you free. Yeah, I see you, Roger. But the reality of it, with all jokes aside, the Jerry Jones family or Stephen Jones, they are of the old school. They want to know your word is your bond type of thing, right? The hawk tour is wild, right? Come on, get the deal. Yeah, but neither here nor there. I'm like Martin Lawrence on Blue Streak when he saw old boy, doing his thing with his hand, and he was like trying to shake his hand, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just give you a hug." That's not a handshaker. But by Jerry and them being such archaic with their approach, old school, they like to holler at you while your agent is not there, right? They like to police. No offense to any of my police buddies out here, that follow the channel or anything, or gals, but they like to interrogate you without your lawyer present. They like to squeeze you up, allegedly, and put you in a high rise, right? Give you the full suite, give you the keys to their particular yacht or automobiles. They would even give you the keys to the helicopter, right? So that they can get you one-on-one, alone, all by yourself. And they knew how to get the lion in his cage. And they sat him down and they said, now you was talking about the fact that you are willing to get paid dog water to stay here, right? And the lion says, and I'm allegedly speaking this out, that, yeah, I'm willing to win. I want a W-I-N. I don't like to lose. I want to see us, and y'all can go check the tweets out there. I want us to go make some moves, and I'm willing to get paid dog water for it. Hey, enjoy your off season. Enjoy the islands. Enjoy your trip to Dubai. It's going to be a little bit on us. When you come back refreshed, keep in mind, we're going to have this conversation, right? I'm speaking in circles for y'all. We're going to take real good care of you. And they did just that. So when words and news get back to his boy, this contract that's on the table, things are not where they need to be. Things are not where they should be. And this guy right here, he ain't finna play around, in the words of my guy, boss, Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't with the wee-woo, right? I'm out here trying to get my client the bag. And I'm not playing around with no dog food for my client. What I believe, what I can tell my client is that this is first. Can y'all see what I circled? Can y'all put that in the chat? Can y'all put that in the chat? Do it say first athletes or does it says athletes first? Do it says owners first? Because none of you guys that's in here watching, ladies and gentlemen, will go to Bill Gates and say, hey, man, you come to my store. Come on, you can get the discounts. You can get 50% off. Bill Gates, man, you can get 60% off, 70% off. None of y'all will allow that for Bill Gates. Or Elon Musk, or the guy that owns, I forgot his name, the little kid that owns Facebook. None of y'all would be saying, yeah, we'll give you a discount, man. Come on into the store, man. Come on, man. Hey, don't worry about it, man. Hey, and if you hire me, tell you what, instead of paying me six figures, I'm good with $25,000. No. So this is the reality of it, and he got the right intentions for his client. Now, granted, a few of you guys will say that players are greedy. Every player is greedy until they lay it out on the field like Family Guy. Everybody greedy until they lifeless and can't even move. Everybody greedy until, every player is a Ryan Shazier hit away. If you don't know who he is, Google, look him up. And that's not a joke, by the way. So these players got to get their bags. The NFL stands for not for long. And this is not a reigning endorsement because I got a helmet with Dak, not with Dak Prescott signature, but with Micah Parsons signature right here in my hand, right? That's not me trying to give an endorsement and say, hey, Micah, man, why don't you run me a few millions, man? Nobody won't notice this. Come on with it.
thought this is a really interesting way to describe it from sure.
Let me get to this point right here, because I know that you guys wants to hear this right here. Give me 1 second as we pull this up, because in actuality, ladies and gentlemen, the realism part of it is that the Cowboys, they wasted some of these opportunities by trying to be too smart. And when you try to be too smart with these situations, it come back to bite you. And you know what? You know how that goes, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it close enough right here, but I don't. And hold on. Boy, I got to build a plane while we in there. Hold on. Bear with me. And these are the truths of it all. The Cowboys really, really should consider getting in front of this, because with Parsons' contract, you could have gotten it done last year. You know what I'm saying? But they was too busy focusing in on the wrong thing, and the wrong thing never became the right thing. Let me see if I got it right here. I think I got it somewhere right here. Yeah, here we go.
Number one
Listen
loser
properly.
of day one of free agency. Who do you think it was?
Did it ask Cowboys?
Gerald Wayne Jones. The Dallas Cowboys owner couldn't have been pleased when he saw the Cleveland Browns giving all that money to Myles Garrett. That's because his job of signing star linebacker Micah Parsons to a new deal just became a whole lot harder. Jones spent all of last season negotiating with quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb on massive extensions, all with the specter of Parsons' financial future looming off in the distance. At 25, Parsons is about to play on the fifth-year option of his rookie deal. He also has accumulated 52.5 sacks in his first 4 seasons and has never produced less than 12 sacks in any given year. If you thought Jones did some healthy tussling with those other stars over their deals, just wait to see how this one plays out with Parsons. It's going to hurt big time. Bigly. RJ Chopping.
What does the Parsons number start with when they do it?
Annually?
Yeah.
4.
So it starts off with 4. If you're looking to seek the discount, you got to do 5. And you got to go a place where no other player or no other owner desire to sign. But you got to understand, you can go with a 5-year deal, which they are recommending 4, but you go with a 5, and you say, man, we got $45 million for you. That will be the way that you can get this Parsons deal done. 45, get him some more guarantees than whatever Garrett got, and be done with it. But right now, shoot, Jerry, Steven, oh, they are in love with this. They are. Oh, come on with it.
I think so. I think he ends up signing for
The Myles deal?
maybe a little over, just slightly. So
4
I
for
don't
162.
4 for 168 or something like that.
Oh my God! So 42 a year.
Yeah, something along those lines is what I would guess.
Oh boy!
Look, if his representatives, David Mulugeta is a shark. If I was an NFL player, that's who I'm hitching my wagon to. That guy has just been able to reset the market consistently with every single player that he represents. He got an impossible contract that nobody would have thought could have happened with Deshaun Watson.
Think about that Deshaun Watson thing. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. 200 and what was it? 30 million guaranteed, all guaranteed contract, coming off of a situation that the brother was looking for happy endings, allegedly, or alleged, or necessarily. You know, the brother was getting some happy endings. Not everybody lying, but everybody had the same story. So there's a pattern of a thing right here. And it's always down to do with the contract. I remember the Texans was in trouble and some heat with what the owner said, and I'm not finna get into details of it, right? And there were some transgressions that happened all of a sudden, all of this stuff. We will release the hedge of protection from Deshaun Watson. They act like this was his first time. He did all of them 24, 25 women in 1 year. No. Alleged. That brother was probably doing that since he was coming out of college. Yeah. I mean, you ain't done yet, lady. Come on, girl. Come on. He got all of that money guaranteed.
Take the money out! All of it! Come on! You're wasting my time now. Come on!
After
Come on!
he was getting topped off.
He got Earl Thomas paid top of the market safety money in Baltimore when nobody thought that anybody was going to give him that again. He just got J.C. Horn $25 million a year, reset the corner market, playing one season basically in 4 years.
Yeah.
And now he's going to have Micah. He's going to be negotiating Micah's resume. Dear God,
we get $50 million a year.
that's going to be that. Look, the Cowboys have.
Hey, the way he was able to get that cornerback money, one season out of 4 years, gave him generational money, top DB money. Oh Lord,
Not been looking forward to sitting down across the table from David Mulligata. I know that, and that's a guy who you want to just talk about consistent reputation of blowing out big deals and just dominating the other side in negotiations. He has done it time and time again, whether it be with Jalen Ramsey or different guys that he's had here, Kevin Byard. He's always negotiated top of the market deals.
Yeah.
Oh,
y'all let me know if y'all see it.
That's going to get ugly. That is going to get ugly for the Jones family. But you're right. They are maybe the biggest loser, at least he is right now, according to NFL.com.
Day one hurt.
Day one did hurt. They did sign people. We will
No doubt. That's them a couple of weeks ago, and you can rehash it and still talk about it. It is just like it's new now. Cowboy Nation, it's just like it's new now. Before we go into the next conversational piece, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, and also with everybody that's watching right now, let me know where y'all are from. I always love to know, man, where my people are from that's watching these type of shows and excerpts, man. And let me know how this thing all rock and roll, Cowboy Nation. But before we go any further, let's do this right here, because I know you guys are on it, right?
Spartans!
Yo, if you serious about gaming, you need to check out the Turtle Beach Self 700. The headset is built for power, comfort, the hybrid leather cushion, metal reinforced design, the clean, lay flat look that made to last, the real magic, the dual driver that give you high definition 24-bit audio sound. That crisp, that footsteps, clean shot, 3D sound that put you in the game. Switching device easy. You can bounce between PC, PlayStation, and even your phone with Bluetooth. Thanks to crossplay, noise cancellation, giving you crisp, crystal clear, zero static sound. Game smarter, play louder, dominate everything. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's get it. No doubt, let's get it, man. Appreciate everybody, man, for rocking and rolling with the nation. And be sure to check out Turtle Beach headsets, man, the Self 700. It was great. You can hear deep bass, 3D quality sound, no static, and especially noise cancellation when you're speaking through the mic and everything, so you can get the best quality out of your headset. Be sure to check the link that's in the description box. Use promo code LAW to get 10% off, so we at least take care of your taxes with that. So yeah, and you got different controller assets that can work with that: Xbox, PS4, 5, and beyond. So be sure to check them out, man. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, Solo. Appreciate you, and JB too from Memphis. Shout out to you. Here's the thing: every year there's a new stat line that comes about, right? And people do these force click bait conversations that much to do about nothing. It's like, okay, this season right now is the Lion season, but let's throw in some let's throw in some stats, man, so we can make fun of the Cowboys so we can get the attention, right? And my guy, football forever, they just rehashing and repurposing what someone else did. But I want to bring this up, and the reality of it is that we forever going to get measured against X, Y, and Z things, right? Been to a conference championship game, NFC East QB edition, and you see how they got Hurts up there, right? Like he did it all by himself. I think it was only Hurts, and he was throwing it to a team of nobodies, right? Shout out to Hurts, right? Oh, and my guy, Jaden Daniels, he made it to the conference championship game. Let's give him a gold star, And then, of course, Russell Wilson made it to a conference title game or what have you, championship game, and give him a gold star. And two of these guys got rings. And Dak Prescott, the only one who never been. Shame on the quarterback, right? But y'all see how people would take anything and make it news to cherry pick. And nobody knows. Nobody knows of the other divisions of conference championship games that people been to. But they would know this stat line for the Cowboys. Nobody knew yards allowed until Trayvon Diggs started getting INTs. Ain't that something? And that year, believe it or not, that was his second year in the National Football League. Who remember that storyline? And the craziest thing of it, Jalen Ramsey, for his first three years, allowed more yards than ever than Trayvon Diggs. But people would use that as a knock on Trayvon Diggs, but dismiss it for Jalen Ramsey. Right. And Jalen Ramsey was a first-round draft pick, right? Diggs was a second round. People will look at what Deron Bland did when he was on his tariff, when he was picking off everything, and say, man, oh my goodness, anybody can do that, man. That's not spectacular. How many pick six did Bland had? Then they start looking at it, oh man, it's the levels of competition. But nobody else does that, right? I literally, and I'm not talking bad about Pat Surtain Jr. because I like him. But the reality of it, it wasn't like he had a spectacular year to get the accolades that he had. There have been times where I've seen teams put up 70 points while Pat Surtain was out there on the field, and they were throwing right at him. But we would casually sweep that under the rug, It's just crazy how the Cowboys, that there's a double standard, a quadruple, triple standard, right? And it goes on and on and on like a broken record over here with the Cowboys. And there's nobody to defend the Cowboys. It's nobody to be out on the forefront with us. Because we get called names, get spit upon. Oh, man, we just casual. Oh, man, we delusional. Oh, man, we X, Y, and Z. When we calling out things of where they are, right? But it is for what it is, Cowboy Nation. Yeah. Cook Law, appreciate you. Shout out to Georgia in that building as well. Melissa, appreciate you. And our fans help them with, if y'all can just read upon the comments. Yeah, get rid of Dak. Dak whack. Like what year we would have won if we had a different quarterback, Shoot. There's no quarterback in the history of NFL games, if you're talking about 2021, to win a postseason game with 14 penalties. None was committed by your quarterback, by the way. Look, there's been people that was banging the table real hard. Just banging it. Ha, 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 ha. I want Aaron. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers haven't seen anything since 2010. Sure, he's been on the dry season for a long time. And he had back-to-back MVPs, and he was one and done, and not a single soul speak upon those things. But man, you put Aaron Rodgers here, man. What Aaron Rodgers been doing? Look, everything been known to man with the Jets. They had the good wide receivers. They had the running backs. They had the O-line for Shanu. They went and got my guy, Tyron Smith. They had everything. Defense couldn't bust through a wet paper bag. I thought that's all you need was a quarterback. But I can't hear not one person saying they want Aaron Rodgers now. Boy, if I said this 3-4 years ago, y'all be talking about, yeah, man, go get Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady would have won that game. Name me one game Tom Brady won with 14 penalties. I'll wait. Name me a game. I do you one better. Name me a game where Tom Brady won when the running back was averaging 2.1 yards per tote. You can't name it. See, and that's just for real. You can't even out-debate me with that because these are facts you don't want to hear. So at the end of the day, even Tom Brady, the great Tom Brady, needed weapons, and he needed top 5 or top 4 defenses. On all of his Super Bowl runs, he's been within the top 10 defenses. We have gotten this placebo version of the Cowboys defense being all of this and that. But since the last time we had a top 10 defense, where we have to go back to? Never. We never had a top 10 defense. We can be leading in takeaways. We could be hyped up and talked about those things, but we couldn't stop the run. Tom Brady wouldn't have. Yeah. In 2022, you said Tom Brady wouldn't have beaten the 49ers. He couldn't even beat us. We retired him. So how all of a sudden he would have beaten us? We don't have. They still have more weapons than us. They still had Mike Evans, right? They still had a running back that gave more than 4 or 5 yards. And we beat them in 2022. So where you getting at? Didn't they still have Gronk? Or Gronk was hurt that game. We put Tom Brady into retirement, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, all right, James, my God, man. Yeah, James, you still in DeSoto or you still in Cedar Hill area, man? Come on with it.
Take the money out!
Come on with it. The 2009 Cowboys defense was top 10. That was the last time, shoot. We had to go all the way back. How many years ago? Put it like this. People crown Jayden Daniels for that postseason game that they won. In one game, he had 5 takeaways. We've been to multitudes of playoff games, and we still haven't equipped to 3 takeaways since the time we've been to every playoff game. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't make the kick to save our lives. Yeah, Stone Cold. Yeah, we couldn't hit water if we fell off a boat with that kicker. But neither here nor there. The team that made the most moves this offseason, we'll be paying attention to them, and that is $355 million worth of moves here, and that is the Patriots. They're making a lot of moves. Let's see what they can do because this will be another team to be looking out for. They better win the Super Bowl. They better make a deep run, y'all. They made $355 million worth of moves. Talking about $1 million worth of game. Wow, look at that, All right, so with that being said, let's listen to our partners.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee
You are the only participant in the conference.
Just got put on the phones that day.
All
There are
participants
things that are
muted.
so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
That's 214 or 817, and all of the 3s you can dial. Reach out to our partners, Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyer. If you're at the job, you turn the corner, and you hit your big toe on the coffee table, or even that pinky toe, yeah, that's a personal injury at work, by the way. Give all people a call if you're hurt and you can't walk anymore. They would take good care of you, not advantages of you. Like these insurance companies, or did it? Come on with it. Cowboy Nation, stand tall or not at all with these type of situations. But if you really need to talk to somebody now, reach out to Law Nation Sports. We got 657-390-7391. That's the line for your mind. Come on with it. Yeah, come on with it. I got my guy from the 469. What's on your mind?
Hello. What's good, baby? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Great.
Give me my thing.
Now hold on. Now you know I got to say something. You know, I ain't been. First, let me apologize for not coming home to visit one of the best players doing it on the waves and the social media. If it is a social media, if it is an account, if it is a stream, if it is a podcast, if it is a wave and they're talking Cowboys football, you know who's the best doing it, and that's Law Nation, baby. Let me apologize for not checking in to the best. And let me say, I'm glad to be home because I got time today.
You got time. Okay, you got time. Come on with it.
Yeah. So now, y'all know, I might be a little late to the story, but it's been some talk going back and forth between two great men who have late. Now.
Okay. We lost you a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me?
Come on,
go ahead. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you better now.
All right. Now, I ain't never known a man to compare his $50 bill against another man's $50 bill. Right. If you got 50 in your pocket, you're feeling good, baby. You're doing good. You're playing good, and somebody then paid you good. That's all I got to say. Now, if you somehow are looking at somebody else's money, that only means you ain't got no money to count in your own pocket. You see, that's all I got to say. That means you ain't got no money to count in your own pocket. Now, I love the gentleman, the player, the man, Asante Samuel.
Okay.
Now, he made a way for himself to be great and had numbers of, according to him, that looked almost like a Deion Sanders, a prime in his prime.
Come on with it, Coach.
The only thing he missing is some sides that go with that. See, he didn't went to KFC, he didn't went to Golden Chick, and he didn't put in the order for the chicken, but he didn't miss all the sides. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
All he got is chicken. I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, ham, biscuits, you name it. Okay. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Because, see, while I was putting up them numbers, I also was playing in the MLB. I think they might have forgot about that.
They did forget about that. They might have
forgot about.
Yeah, they did.
I was the only one to hit a home run in the World Series and get an interception in the Super Bowl in the same year. I think they forgot about that.
They forgot about that. Yeah.
I think we need to remind them, okay, that I'm the only one who was covering posts with no safety in the middle. I think they forgot about that.
They forgot about that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If we want to go as far back as we could go, okay, I'm the one they could call a volcano because I'll tell them what volcanoes do.
Erupt.
The volcanoes do.
Explode and
they
erupt.
And when they erupt, what do they make?
Lava. Come on with it.
They make lava, and then you get what? An island. Baby, I made the island before they even known it was an island that you could live on.
Come on with it, man. You cooking, Coach. Come on with it. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
We love you. We love you, Asante. We're grateful for what you did to the NFL and in the league. But if you're talking about an island, Prime made it. That's all I got, baby. Now, Give me my theme music.
Come on with it, man. That's my guy right there, man. Give me my theme music. Yo. Yo. I didn't know where you were going with that one, boy. Woo! Jeez, man. Lord have a mercy. This weekend we're gonna be stacked with a bunch of things, man. And one of the things that I know for sure, we're gonna be having an event, the Grand Tour at the Double R. If you don't know what Double R is, then look it up. And you got special guest Malik Hooker. We're gonna have Wanye, second cousin twice removed, Sam Williams, and then Ken Hamlin. That's on Friday, and it is the Motor Car Dallas at 5300 Lemon Avenue, and it's on Friday between 7 and 10. And we about to show up and show out. Shout out to them. It will be an event that I will be at as well, and as we will have some other special guests. Can't say for right now, but I would love for you all to be there. But it's a private event, but there are some invitations that's still circulating, and I really appreciate all what they are able to generate from here. The next caller that we have on the show is from the 972. You're live on the nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Man, talk to me, bro.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
This is Walker.
Walker, man. What's good with you, Walker? Talk to me, man. What you got on your heart?
Good. How you doing?
Doing great.
Now I was gonna say you were saying that Tom Brady wouldn't have won that 2022 playoff game. I don't know, man. Our defense held them in check that entire game.
Did we force a
against
turnover?
San Francisco. By my memory, I couldn't tell you.
Do you know if Tom Brady ever won a game without a turnover being forced?
I couldn't tell you he'd been in so many playoff games, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yes, indeed. You probably want to look it up.
He's been in a lot of playoffs. All I'm saying is the difference in that, yeah, I understand we had a lot of penalties, but their quarterback was making the throws, ours wasn't.
You talking about? Are you talking about 2021 or 2022?
So
which game?
Both the playoff games against San Francisco, Dak was not making the throws that Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy were making at the critical moments. He was not. And
so
the two turnovers in that second playoff game cost us that game.
And who else? Who else stood tall?
Turnovers.
Who else stood tall in those games? Who else stood tall?
As far as on our team, as far as on our squad, our defense held strong both those games.
In what way?
In what way? Holding them under 20 points, I think, at both games.
Okay, so is that the underlying qualifier?
We were leading the league in scoring both those seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so how come nobody else
on the 49ers?
How come we couldn't run the ball for over 2 yards in those games per carry?
Their running backs weren't running that well.
I'm talking. That's on their side.
I don't think the running backs got over 100 yards in both those games.
Do you know the record win
We
loss?
held them in check.
Do you know the record of any quarterback that's averaging a running back with 2 yards or less in the postseason?
I could not tell you that off the top of my head. The thing is Law, our defense held them in check.
But our defense didn't force no turnovers.
Was facing the same opposition. Our defense was sturdy both of those games.
Yeah, but the defense allowed a big play. Trayvon Diggs missed that tackle right in the middle of the field, right? And they scored off of that, right or wrong?
You're right about that.
Right, and then our guy Bland dropped the INT right in the end zone. So those are two plays that could have changed or tilted the game in the other favor. I'm not trying to put this on anybody, but as a collective, the team.
I'm not trying to put it on Dak. I'm not trying to put it on Dak. All I'm saying is, hey, we paid you a lot of money. You're the franchise quarterback.
Right.
You need to step up and make the plays. You need to step up and make the throws when it's called for.
Is Josh Allen getting a lot of money?
He is.
Is Trevor Lawrence getting a lot of money?
He is.
Cal Murray.
But
Lamar Jackson.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't give a flying shit about those other quarterbacks. I care about who is the quarterback and the leader of my football team, the Dallas Cowboys. That's all I care about. I don't care about how much money Trevor Lawrence is making.
Right.
I don't care about how much money Josh Allen's making. All I care about is what my quarterback, my franchise quarterback, is doing for my franchise.
Right.
And if you're not winning in the postseason, I ain't got nothing for you. That's all there is to it.
There's a mute point, because at the same time we can do that on the other ways of it, right? Because when he wasn't making a lot of money, was the expectation still the same?
Can you repeat that?
When he wasn't making a lot of money, was the expectation still the same?
In my eyes, yeah, the expectations.
So the money is a mute point. The money is a mute point. Then, if that's the case, money doesn't translate into wins. It don't. It never did. But putting a team around him.
If you're going to be looked at as the leader of this franchise, and we're going to give you these contracts, if we're going to believe in you, you got to be able to get it done.
And that's for all. All right. Is Jalen Hurts getting it done by himself?
No, he's got a squad around him. Dak's had some squads around him.
All right, so equivalent. Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here.
3 years in
a row. So equivalency. So you trying to tell me the 2022 team is equivalent to what we just saw, what the Eagles just did?
The 2022 Cowboys.
Are you saying that we are the same as the Eagles?
Look, I seen the 2022 Cowboys. Didn't the Eagles go to Super Bowl in 2022?
They did.
The Cowboys bitch slapped them one game, hung up 40 points on them. So
with your boy, Dak Prescott. Your boy Dak Prescott did it. Go ahead.
Comparing squads. We're comparing squads. Our squads was pretty damn good that year. We went 12-5.
And how did we win? And how did we win that game? And how did we win that game? And how we won that game?
Both sides of the ball. Every phase of that game, we kicked their ass. Every phase.
And you got to be damn near perfect in order to win that way. You got to have weapons, bro. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Everyone's saying Dak has no weapons. He
didn't have any weapons that year. We took a guy that was 33 years old in the third, like he was a Freemason, a master mason. Yeah, you can't talk about records. Look, the 1996. Listen, hold on.
You can't have a bad squad if you do that.
Listen to a man that knows football, bro. In 1996, what was the record for the Denver Broncos? They had everything. They were one and done. They got knocked out of the playoffs with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They came back the following season with better weapons, and they won the Super Bowl back to back. They were 13-3, I believe. So sometimes you do get hit with the okie doke when you have good records. It's just that the Jacksonville Jaguars, an expansion team of all teams, were able to spank Denver. And they had, as allegedly, weapons, but they didn't have run game. Terrell Davis got there, and it flipped the entire organization. Back-to-back Super Bowls.
All I'm saying is we've had some squads, Law.
What squad? Okay, so break it down. What year we had squad? What year we had the squads?
2016 for sure.
So you want your expectation?
2016 for sure. That squad was good enough to go to Super Bowl. Don't tell me it wasn't.
And what happened? What it took for us not to beat? What did it took for us not to win? I get you, but what it took for us not to win?
It took a crazy throw from Aaron Rodgers to keep us out that NFC Championship.
Great. So what happened in 2017, the following year? Did they add to or did they take away from their squad?
They didn't really add much, if not at all.
All right. So what happened in 2018?
Nothing much neither.
Nothing much neither, right? Did they win a playoff game?
I think we beat the Seahawks that year.
In the following game, what happened? We couldn't do what?
Well, we got beat up. We couldn't stop the run like we've always been there. We haven't been able to stop the run in years, for a long time.
So
for a long time.
So what are we getting at? Is it a team loss or is it just pinning it on the floor?
Those are team. I'm not going to paint that on those games on Dak. But when we are in the tight games like San Francisco,
which year?
2021 tight scoring games.
So if I'll give you $1,000 right now if you can name me a team that won a playoff game with 14 penalties. You can't win games with penalties, bro. You can't win it, and unfortunately, 14 penalties that's never been done in the history of NFL. And
Here's the problem. Those are legacy games, Law. If you're going to be considered one of a great quarterback in NFL history,
you got to win games in 14 penalties.
You have to rise above. You have to overcome that law. That's the difference between Hall of Fame quarterbacks and guys that never win.
And guess what? In the history of NFL, no quarterback ever overcame 14 penalties. So what's the next one? What's the next one?
Are you okay? So are you sure about that?
Look it up.
No quarterback in NFL history in the postseason
overcame a game with more than 14 penalties. It's never been happened in the history of the NFL, bro. In the history. You can chat GPT it, you can Google Earth it, you can put it up, and you can look at every game. But what I'm getting at is that what we have with expectations is beyond belief.
Yeah, but
my thing is, here's my thoughts on.
Down like 30 points. We have seen quarterbacks down 30 points come back. So I'm just saying, like,
I mean, yeah, we did see that.
Okay, penalties. I'm just saying, though, I'd rather have 14 penalties and be down 30 points in the playoffs. I'm
all right.
Just saying.
And what did their defense do for them to get back after they was down 30 points?
Some turnovers. Of course, it's some turnovers.
They forced some turnovers, so they made something happen.
Also got to make plays too.
So guess how many playoff games we've been in since we had 4 as the quarterback?
How many playoff games have we been in since we had Dak? Oh shit, putting me on the spot here. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. At least six.
And I think it's 7 or something like that. But yeah.
You got Seahawks, you got the Rams, you got the Packers, you got the 49ers twice, that's 5, and you got the Buccaneers, you got
three takeaways.
Oh.
3 takeaways. 3 takeaways is all they had since we've been in the postseason. Defense win championships. My thing is, I get you. Even if I say this right here.
Look,
hold on.
I'm a Dak hater. No. My thing is, Look, I'm frustrated because we have been in positions where we could have took a step forward. We could have got to a conference title, and now our team right now is in flux. The roster's in flux. We're falling apart.
Walker, here's what I agree with you on, because people gonna take this as I'm a Dak apologist or something, but this is what I really want to take home with. Guess what? Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys would never win the game in the postseason if you relying only on him. You would never, and I'm saying it with all capital letters, Dak would never win if he is the only piece that's going to be able to get us there. He would not win it, bro. And I'm going to say this again. He will not win it. You need someone else to be able to help this team out outside of just Dak. That's what I'm getting at.
No,
so,
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. You can't win it just with that.
I'm at a place now where, our franchise, I just don't like how they approach free agency. I just don't like, I don't see how we're going to rebuild this roster with this draft and these guys we're taking just, we'll coach them up. We'll see what happens. I know I want to win, but I just don't see the light there at the end of the tunnel where we're going to come out. I just don't see it.
In those big moments, you sound like you was able to see Roger Staubach win Super Bowls, right?
I'm 35. So
damn! I'm older than you, Walker. God damn! I thought you were like 45 at least, man. Come on, man.
No, 35, man.
You're 35.
I gotta watch Staubach on VHS.
Oh my God! Okay, you a young guy. I thought you was old, Walker. I'm sitting here going,
that's my thing. You've seen the Super Bowls, bro. I'm at the point now. I'm like, dude.
I can understand your frustrations to a degree.
I'm frustrated, man. I'm at the end of the line here. I'm just like, bro.
I thought you was 45, 55. God, no, Walker.
No. I live here in Dallas, man. I see this shit every day, man.
I'm God, man.
I'm ready for us to win now.
Well, the recipe on how we've been doing it in 30 years and 30 seasons, because you was 5 the last time we did anything, bro. Jeez, man. And I look at it from your perspective. I get where you frustrated and angry at, but the expectations never shifted. We had Chan Gailey. We still had the expectation to win the Super Bowl. We had Dave Campo, he still had the expectation to win the Super Bowl. And I get it. You know, we even had Wade Phillips. So Wade, I get it, bro. But times are crazy, bro, man. What else you got before I let you go?
I'm one of those 30-year-old Cowboys fans. I'm in purgatory right now, man. I'm just shit. I need something. I'm holding on for dear life here.
But you're not. I'm gonna say again, you would not win a Super Bowl. You can win a Super Plate or Super Fork with Dak just by himself, but you're not gonna win no Super Bowl with it just him. So that's why I said that if the Cowboys really want to win, give him run game. When we get to the postseason, give him run game and let us stop the run. Everything else, I think that we can get further down the line. But you're not going to win when it's just Dak Prescott, by the way, bro. Appreciate you for calling in.
Thanks, Law. Take care.
Yes, indeed. Oh, my God. Hey. All right, he was 5. He was going on 5 when he won the last Super Bowl, man. I get it, y'all. You know, and action, I hear you, man, but I haven't made so if it was only Dak Prescott, if we saying that, yeah, we lost the game only because of Dak Prescott, then I get you. Okay, all right. Who else stood tall? And then you said defense. We can't even name a sack that happened, a crucial sack, a crucial takeaway, turnovers. All we talking about, well, they held them for 20 points. If that was the standard across the league, boy, y'all just don't even understand. That can't be the standard. In the postseason, you got to have takeaways. You got to have turnovers. Matter of fact, the craziest thing of it all, we whipped our nuts out and threw it all on the face of Kyrie Elam that's here. And he helped Josh Allen win a postseason game. How you know, Law? Well, if y'all go watch the postseason game, he caught a crucial INT in the end zone. When the other team, if they score that Bills lose that. Took a crucial INT. We can't even find a player that was able to do that outside of 2022 when we beat Tampa Bay. And we were blowing the doors off of them boys. Chris, well, I appreciate you for your support.
Chris the YouTube critic, $5. Law, you are absolutely wrong. The Raiders won 42-24 on the 9th of January 94 versus Denver with 17 penalties.
Well, damn,
never
I'm wrong.
Never.
Well, never say never. All right, I'll have to fact check that, but shout out to them. Appreciate the Raiders. 42-24. Them boys already beating the brakes off of them. Beating the brakes off of them. Chris, I guess he lost his $1,000 that he could have won. From the 585, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Law Nation? What's going on, Cowboys?
Come on with it.
Hey, man. Oh, boy, is tripping, man. I know you ain't seen no Super Bowls. You too young. I understand that,
yeah.
But you bugging, man. Hey, man. People got to get off Dak Prescott just because he finally got his money.
Nah, you apologist, man. You apologist, man.
Nah, Dak deserved that money. Dak deserved that money. The Jones just would have quit playing with him and his money a long time ago.
Yeah.
And trying to better this team when they was not paying him the money. They should have made this team better. Right?
Yeah.
Going into free agency. And I'm gonna say this last thing about Dak. Hey, man, the reason I give Dak his props is because he was a rookie. Him and Zeke was rookies, and he came in here and took the starting quarterback spot, and he kept it. And he battled out with Aaron Rodgers his rookie year. So everybody with this Dak crap, get out of here, because he battled in that game. If you don't believe me, go back and watch that first playoff game against Green Bay. He battled. He had Aaron Rodgers in him sweat.
Yeah.
They barely got up out of there. So I'm gonna say this. And plus, the next year, let's keep it real, the league messed the Cowboys up by suspending Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? That messed up the groove too.
Yeah.
With those allegations, and they didn't stick. So
yeah.
My thing is like this. This dude been battling the whole time he's been there. But has the Cowboys the organization been putting him in the best positions to win? I don't think so.
Right.
Because we're always lacking somewhere, whether it's with the coaching staff, whether it's with the play calling, whether it's with the running game, you name it, the wide receivers. You know, man, Dak been trying to stand tall through it all. Why is my quarterback ripping his day? What was it? His calf or his whatever happened to him this past season? Why is he running the ball? Why we don't have a strong running game?
Yeah.
Nobody's asking these questions. Why are we bringing back old Zeke Elliott to this team? We let him go. What team does that? Nobody does that.
Nobody but the boys. You know, we brought back Herschel Walker. For some people, I know my guy Walker way too young for that. We brought back Herschel Walker. You know, that's who the Cowboys way. Yeah.
Jason Wittens, tippy toes, twinkle toes Wittens, man. Like, let's keep it real, man. Like, this dude they should be kissing his behind just for dealing with half the stuff and not really calling them all the way out.
Yeah. That's why they call it the lion season, man. It's the lion season for real, you know.
That's what I'm saying, man. Our starting wide receivers should not be saying, yo, I need help. And they're not getting him the help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not getting him the proper help that he needs to help him out, to open everything up.
Yeah.
You got different, like 3 people on CD Lamb every time they snap the damn ball. But we blaming it on Dak and CD. Come on, man. And you ain't got no running game. We ain't have no running game.
A prime example of what Dak Prescott looked like in these last 2 postseason games, or last 3 postseason games, is the prime example of the quarterback that God spit out himself and gave the greatest arm to. Pat Mahomes. Didn't Pat Mahomes look like Dak Prescott in that game? Where his talent went away? Why was that happening? He had no run game, and he had no wide receivers to get open. My guy, Kelsey, he was dealing with an undisclosed injury, right? Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. And at the end of the day, you could have put Dak Prescott in that uniform, and y'all would have been saying, that's Dak. It was a Super Bowl.
Yeah. You think what Jalen Hurts did this past season, Dak Prescott couldn't do that with that same team?
Man.
He probably would have did better. AJ probably wouldn't have been crying as much. He'd have been getting the ball a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't sit here and keep blaming the players when the ownership is not making the main thing football. A lot of people that watched the team back in the day, we understood when Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones, the Jones family was making football the main priority.
Right.
That's how they got that playpen. That's how they was able to afford the playpen.
Yeah.
Football was the main thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And football is not the main thing anymore in Dallas. You can tell just by the way they running it. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. They got to do a better job, man. Our division has gotten better.
Yeah.
The division has gotten better. If we want to be competing in this division, the Joneses have to spend some money, and they have to draft best available players, man. Not just draft for needs. Draft for needs, but also the best available player at the same time.
Yeah.
Not just for a need. You know what I mean? Because that might just be a bust. But at least my whole thing is like this. I think everybody in the fan base will be more happier if we just seen them making a bigger push, just stopping. Go ahead and sign our star players. Get them out the way so we can get more money on these books and be able to go out here and try to finesse another team out of they star players off their teams with some kind of bogus stuff like we did with Amari Cooper. Come on, man. You should have got more than a 5th round damn pick. I don't give a damn how mad you is with somebody. You should have got more than a 5th round pick for Amari Cooper, man. Come on, man. It's ridiculous how we do business, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man. In playoff games, different, man. I get 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, right? I get all of that. And on one end, they glorify the 12-5, but then on the other end, they spit upon it. Because out of those 12-5, like I said, we get to the postseason, and no one be able to bring up those particular factors, right? For example, the same thing, the same praises that people are giving the team is the same downfall that the Packers had when they made it to the postseason with the greatest quarterback that's known to man at that time, Aaron Rodgers. They haven't done anything since 2010, but nobody brings that up, right? And we have in this particular expectations that this quarterback that's supposed to be of lesser talent than Aaron Rodgers, doing the air quotes, right? With the same coach, but we supposed to get the results now. It don't work that way, y'all. It don't work that way. And I wish I can just say otherwise, but it don't.
It don't.
You should have when they had moved on from Amari Cooper. Don't you know we still looking for a number 2 wide receiver? We paid $50 million to Michael Gallup. No shade at him. And we still looking. And look, we put like this is the craziest thing, bro. True story. We got rid of Amari Cooper, and we replaced him with Michael Gallup, right? Michael Gallup never replaced Amari Cooper. Michael Gallup get gone, and we never had the other wide receiver to replace Michael Gallup's production, because Jalen Tolbert is not even equivalent to Michael Gallup, right? We brought in Brandon Cooks, but Brandon Cooks, he plays the same position as CeeDee Lamb inside the slot. So if I'm seeing a 5'9.5" guy on the outside, I'm waving him off. And he's been hurt guy the last 2 years, by the way.
Yeah.
So we missed out on that little window of making sure that you have some top-tier quality wide receivers in the building. But people will look at the overall concept and say, hey, with the guys that we have, we still should win the Super Bowl with Jalen Brooks. We should be able to win the Super Bowl with a Jalen Tolbert. We still should be able to make a deep run. Come on, man. I can't make this stuff up.
Man, when that dude was falling last year on the damn field, when Dak was putting the ball on him, this dude was tripping and falling.
Right.
Nobody called it out. You was the only one I heard say, like, damn, this dude tripping and falling all over
with
Brooks.
skates.
Come on, man. It's like, come on, Jerry, man. Stop. Like, come on, man. You just going to get people, and you're not really like going to get the right people. It's like everybody else go get the right people, but us, we go get knockoffs.
Look, before I let 100 grand on, bro. Before I let 100 grand on, let me throw this out to all of the people who said, well, Law just an apologist. If you are taller than 5'5" in the chat, put a 1. Just put a 1 in the chat. If you are taller than 5'5", put a 1 in the chat. You know what I'm getting at, Tyreek? That in the last 5 years, we drafted one running back, and he's 5'5". I can't make this stuff up. And he's our last running back that we'd have drafted. And all of these people that's in the chat taller than him, and we supposed to still win the Super Bowl. I can't make this stuff up, bro. Appreciate you for calling in, bro.
All right. Peace.
I can't make this stuff up. Look at everybody in the chat. And I'm not trying to talk about Tiny Deuce Vaughn, but that's how we are. We still supposed to be able to win the Super Bowl. In the last 5 years, we have drafted one running back, and he's 5'5". Now I hope Tiny Deuce Vaughn this year busts it wide open, man. I hope he be able to let Deuce hit it and get all down the field. But the reality of it is that these are the Dallas Cowboys. And now what we are leaning on, if we don't draft a wide receiver in this draft, what we are leaning on is, hey, osmosis to take his place. Because I'm seeing my guy Chris Blunt said, hey, Law, stop with the excuses. Well, if that's the case, then we're going to go into this season, if we don't draft a wide receiver with a Paris Campbell, a Mingo, a Jalen Brooks, and a Jalen Tolbert and CD, and say, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Come on, man. Look. If we don't bend the corner and get somebody that can be a threat on the other side, boy, we're going to be having the same conversation again. And y'all be saying, hey, Dak is where I can't stand Dak. Well, what you expect? What do you expect? Yeah, you had Tony Pollard, bro. But in the last 5 years, we didn't draft not one running back. And Tony Pollard, on the tip of his career, we finally gave him a chance for 1.5 years. I can't make this stuff up. And we franchise tag him, and you can't prorate or spread that money out. Don't you know that we paid Tony Pollard $11 million, 11.5 or something like that? The Baltimore Ravens paid Derrick Henry $6 million. That's 2 Derrick Henrys. I can't make this stuff up. I got $100,000 from the 201. You're live on the nation. Talk to me, man. Hello. 100.
Sidney Jones $5. You can win with both of the Jalens, but you need a Keenan Allen and a CD Lamb to pair with them. They's the problem.
$100,000. Well, $100,000. He done. I got the 832, then I got Dr. Q for the 210. But 832, you're live on the nation. Talk to me, man. $832. Yo, 832. God, dog. I got Dr. Q, man, for the 210 you in, dog. I was wondering what's going on.
That's so funny, man. I'm sitting up here laughing, bro. Hey, I just had to chime in, man, last minute. But, man, that caller, man, my man that just got off the phone with you, bro, he stole my thunder. He's speaking facts plus facts, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Look, man, it's everybody wants to blame Dak, okay? Yeah. And it's not all about Dak, man. It is about the ownership. I mention that to you every time I chime in. So, we know Jerry, 81 years old, man, and we hear it all the time. They ain't done anything in 30 years. But, Lord, I'm here to tell you, man, I just don't see them. How can I say this? I don't see them winning, bro. Honestly, man. So if you think about it, if they had to wait another 30 years, bro, without winning, that'll make Jerry 111, and there's only one. There's only 1 in 847,600 of the populace that live that long. One person out of 847,000, and they're not anywhere in the United States.
Wow.
They're outside the U.S. One of them Malaysian countries that eat healthy.
Right.
But the thing is with it, man, I just don't see them winning, bro, because like the previous caller said, what they do, man, is too business minded. They'll go out and they'll get, because all I kept in, I just been sitting back, listening to, man, we know he was a number 1. He was a number 2, but they got kicked off the other teams for a reason, bro. They got kicked off those other teams for reasons. You see what I'm saying? So now you ready to fool all of us. Okay, I got a previous number 1 and number 2, so now maybe our fans will be quiet. But, bro, look, I'm here to tell you, man, you can pull the wool over some people's face. I've been a fan. I sat with my granddad, man, in 1973. Yeah. I've been a fan 16 years before he bought the team in 89. And so I never trusted him when they were winning. I don't trust him now. I don't trust him and his son. And I'm telling you, man, this dude is full of it. He is BSing, man. You've got to spend, and I understand you had callers, which I don't want to sit up here and name names. They'll say, oh, we got number 6 on the bench, or we got this person, put this person in for this person. That's not what it's all about, man. You've got to spend money to get said dominant player. You have to spend money to win at this level. You can't sit there and get these picks, man, these bargain basement picks that think they're going to take you to the promised land where you want to go. You're trying to fool everybody, man, and that's what the Joneses do, bro. But Law, and look, this pains me to say this because I'm a Cowboys man to the death of it. But bro, I just do not. And if they do make the Super Bowl, I promise you, man, I will come on your line and apologize every day. But bro, I just don't see them, man. I don't.
Now here's what's going on, Dr. Q, is that it's the identity. Like, here's Walker Wade and a few other people that's in the comment. 2021 was very winnable. That was a very winnable game, right? 2022 was a very winnable game. If you tap into your identity, how do you win? The will to win. The will to, hey, I'm going to run the ball, play clock, time of possession. There's no big eyes. There's no little U's. We're going to be a disciplined team. I'm going to install confidence in my team. If there was a situation that was like in 2021 when Mike McCarthy said, I saw that my guys were timid and nervous, if he didn't correct that, Dr. Q, he should never allow that to leave his mouth after the game, right? He should have been like, I'm gonna carry this to the grave. The reason why, because that's an indictment on him, because you're the head coach. You supposed to see Jimmy Johnson. I know you know this, right? He would see through the week. Oh, these guys are playing not to the caliber of how I want them. So I'm gonna cut somebody. I'm gonna install that fear, or I'm gonna speak to the media and put that in 3-inch headlines. Right? I'm gonna make sure that they know that we are confident with 12-5 versus going into the mindset of we 5-12. This is our house. We're gonna rock this thing, and that's how the Cowboys should have approached those things, and that comes with leadership and coaching. But I get it. Most people saying that your quarterback's supposed to change that. But you got to have talent. An ant is not going to tip over an elephant. And that's the reality too.
Exactly. When I sit back, I kind of equate that. Now I'm switching sports with Barkley. Barkley had talent, but yes, Barkley never won the big game. But they had, in order for Barkley to have reached that pinnacle of getting to an NBA title, he had to go play with the Phoenix Suns because he had nothing in Philly. I'm talking about after post Dr. J and them. Yeah. He had nothing in Philly, so he had to leave, man. So to go back to what you just said makes a lot of sense. They have to surround Dak with talent, and I know someone in this chat as I'm talking and reading this stuff coming through, well, he had receivers and he had this, but like the previous caller said, we could never put stuff together. You're trying to make a sandwich. You got the bread, but you had no meat. You got you got the bread, but you don't have this. And so, what I'm saying is that we haven't been able to be on one accord and make sure everything is in order. Is it going to be perfect? No. But you have to spend some money to get this thing to even be close to perfect. And right now, all these ones and twos that you're getting that are cast-offs, and I'm not saying I'm one law that would never say said player is garbage, and the reason being is in their craft, they made it to the highest echelon, right? They made it to the NFL, right? But if you go by NFL standards, there's they're may not be as good as other set player. So they were number 1, number 2 for a reason. But then all of a sudden, okay, we're gonna let this player go, and it's not always about money when those players are released. But hell, we don't know that. We don't know that as Cowboys fans because the owner don't want to spend. Yeah. The owner just don't want to spend. So I don't know, man. Like I said, pull the wool over a lot of people's faces, but you can't pull it over everybody's. especially an old guy like myself who has seen the good and the bad, and I just think at right now I just don't. I don't see him doing anything, man. God knows I hope that I'm wrong, but I just don't see him. I see him being competitive, but to get over that hump, you have to invest some more money, bro. You just have to invest some more money in said player. I mean, you had some very good talent out there on the free agent market, and I know people would say, well, man, why do you want to spend X amount of dollars on said receiver when, you have this player? Oh, he was a number 1 3 years ago. Okay. But that means nothing. We're trying to win now. And you have to spend that money, man, in order to be able to compete with these teams that are up there. And the Cowboys is just not doing it. So I don't blame Dak for that. I do blame ownership on that. And yeah, I mean, we're always going to have hope that they can do it, man. But, man, it's a tough road, bro, because of the way this ownership, the way the owner and his son move. It's a tough road.
Man, no doubt, man. I really appreciate you for calling in and always giving us the good insights to all of this. Thank you, man.
Okay, brother Law. You guys take care, man.
No doubt. That's Dr. Q from the 210, the Caribbean doctor there, man. Here's what I'm getting at. Kervin Richards and Sherman, Williams, what was his name? Williams. They back up running backs for Emmitt Smith. We can go line for line, Blair Thomas or whoever it may be who was a backup running back for Emmitt in some shape, form, or fashion. And the reality of it is, they may be in backup running backs. They ran behind that same offensive line, couldn't get it done, though. So that's the reality of it, and people fail to realize that talent is what it is. And it's very subjective. Very subjective. And some of y'all not even old enough to know that Blair Thomas was drafted before Emmitt, right? In 1990. I think he was second overall pick. But he wasn't Emmitt. Emmitt's 14, 15, 16, 17, I believe. Lassick, too, shout out to him, Coleman, too. Shout out to Coleman. He was a backup running back for Emmitt. So what I'm getting at is we can go line for line and point out X, Y, and Z things. You still need talent. You still need a system. And you need good health, too. You need all of those things to factor in. And the Cowboys haven't been that team to have good depths or good competitions at all levels. It becomes a political game. I drafted him. I need to see him being played. And it becomes a job security thing. This is my buddy. I'm going to hire him as my coach. Jeff Blasco. Coaching is important too, yeah. From the 201, 100 grand.
My God.
Hey, man. I thought you ran off, man, with the plug or something, man. I said, man, we'll listen. I said, let me click off, man, just in case, something happened to him, man. What would you got, man? What you got for me, bro?
Listen, man. Look, bro. It doesn't work.
Hold on. Let me talk to Ron Venters right quick. Law, we had talent, man. All right. In the Super Bowl, did the Chiefs have talent? Yes or no? They had a first-round draft pick, Xavier Worthy, right? Who can take the top off the defense, the fastest wide receiver in the National Football League. They had the greatest quarterback that we've seen in the last 10, 15 years, according to everybody, the next great thing since sliced bread, right? They had an unbelievable Hall of Fame, going into the Hall of Fame career out of my guy that could pull the ball, DeAndre Hopkins. And they had, what's his name, bro? Kelsey. They had talent. But what happened? You see, people always talk about, hey, we had talent. Break it down 100, man.
We ain't even gonna talk about the 17-0 Patriots. What happened to them? They had talent too.
Yeah, they had plenty of talent.
They went 17-0. What happened to them?
Yeah, it looked like Eli ate paint chips growing up. You know what I'm saying? And they had defense. Defense win championship, bro.
And they had turnovers and all that. Eli didn't go in there and win by himself. No. That defense came to play.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny how people use bad O-line as a silver liner right now. You know what I'm saying? Look, the damn Bengals had a bad offensive line every year on the Burrows. You know what I'm saying? And they drafted. They listened to everybody. Amirius Mims, you know, whoever he is, next greatest thing since sliced bread. They drafted him, and what happened to the Bengals? They were still talking about that bad offensive line. So that's what they try to tell the Cowboys. Let's go draft another offensive lineman. Yeah, okay, go ahead, do that. Yeah, no.
No. What happened to the greatest show on turf? What happened to them, Law? He had all the weapons too. What happened to them? They didn't win it that year. You know? So come on, y'all said that Kurt Warner, the greatest quarterback that ever lived. Drop him in Cowboy land. He'll win the Super Bowl with this team right here. No, he won't. That boy had weapons over there.
Look,
types of weapons.
The thing is with Kurt Warner, I laugh, bro, because they talk about how great he was with his precisions and precise throwing, but he haven't done a damn thing, excuse my French for anybody that listen, without an Isaac Bruce or a Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden. Any other year, Eli beat him out and put him on the bench when he went to the Giants. Because he had no weapons. Kurt Warner turned into Bud Warner because he couldn't hit nothing because he didn't have weapons on the outside. You can't find me taping information. Mark Bolger beat out Kurt Warner. You know what I'm saying? Because after them weapons dissipated and disappeared, Kurt Warner had to go to, without Marshall Falk in the run game, Kurt Warner turned into a Bud. You know what I'm saying? You know, so if people fail to realize that it took weapons for Kurt Warner to be great.
Same thing with homeboy that went from the Lions and went over there to L.A. He had weapons over there in L.A.
Yeah.
And they won the Super Bowl. So stop with all this Dak stuff. Y'all quiet in the chat right now. Y'all quiet in the chat right now. And they didn't take away from him either. They added to and gave him more. They kept giving that man weapons, and they got it done. Ever since Dak Prescott got into the league, they never gave him weapons.
Never gave him weapons.
Never. You can't say, oh, man, the Cowboys gave him C.D. Lamb. Or the Cowboys gave Amari Cooper.
You know the craziest thing, the person that was blessed with abundance of weapons. And he's a two-time Super Bowl champ. Yeah, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
he was birthed. His rookie year, he had Marshall Faulk. He went for, and he always had my guy Marvin Harrison. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, he got Reggie Wayne. They got rid of Marshall Faulk and gave him Edgerrin James, bro. Eddie had a dad of the clock. The man had everything. He had manna falling out of the sky. He couldn't win a damn Super Bowl. And there's nobody on this planet, nobody that's on this planet would take Jason Garrett, you know what I'm saying, over Tony Dungy. Ain't nobody.
No.
That man built with weapons. Yeah.
Y'all can't sit there. And this is a new league from them. You gotta have either you gotta have 2 wide receivers or you gotta have 3. If you ain't got 2 or 3, you're done. I don't care what nobody say. So how can y'all say that Dak Prescott can even compete He can't even compete. The Giants right now about to have 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2 of them.
That's what they going.
And watch how Russell Wilson turn up this year, and y'all gonna say, man, we should have got Russell Wilson for $8 million.
Man, if I'm the Giants,
the Giants about to have 2 wide receivers, and if they can ever get my man, what's his name, Jay? The other wide receiver he was just a deep threat. He was trash. If they ever get him to get right,
Darius Slayton.
No. They did sign back Darius Slayton. I forgot about that.
He's a good
about
deep
to
route,
have 3 wide receivers.
Rondale Robertson. Look, if all they need, because Malik Neighbors, he had the same numbers, equivalency of the same numbers that CD had last season, and I know CD had an off season because he didn't participate in training camp. But what I think the Giants, because think about this, the Giants defense was better than the Cowboys and the Washington defense last season.
Yeah,
they was hovering right at top 10 defense, by the way. So, I'm not trying to breathe life into the Giants, but I said, they can
telling the truth.
They can literally turn it over just like that. Oh, you talking about Hyatt? Jalen Hyatt.
That's what I'm talking about. Jalen Hyatt. Man, if they got Jalen Hyatt, they got the boy that draft picked last year. They got Slayton. They go get another wide receiver.
No, you know what we need to do? We need to stop talking about how good these damn running backs are. Shit, because the Giants might be saying, okay, this is a big draft in running backs. Hey, who the Cowboy fans are talking about they like it? Shoot, Amarion Hampton on the Giants, it'd be a whole nother story now.
They can get any They can get any running back they want to. If they go and get Travis Hunter, they can get any running back they want to because you ain't doubling up on nobody. You can't.
Yeah. Dang.
You can't. It's going to be man up on everybody. Russell Wilson going to be sitting back there picking us apart. And he don't have to have the best offensive line. You don't when you got 3 dogs. It's going to be a problem. But remember I said that.
Yeah.
Remember I said that, Law. I'm telling you right now. The Giants made a big. Everybody laughed at them. They got Jameis Winston and they got they laughed. Law.
Pause for a quick second. Got a super chat.
Manning also had Bob Sanders and Dwight Freeney on defense as well.
Yeah, you talking about appreciate your pose. He says Manning had Bob Sanders and Dwight Freeney. Yeah, you know what I mean? And they had a better defensive-minded person out of Tony Dungy. It's just that it appears that, hey, they had dog water on defense because of the postseason. And remember that old statement, do you rest your players or do you play your players right before? Because Peyton Manning, they were winning all of the regular season games. Shoot. It's just that in that postseason he dissipated, because but it's a whole nother. Yeah.
Joneses better get their head out their ass, and it's not Dak Prescott, man. It's the front office, man. The front office failing. They just failing, man. They don't draft to compliment. They draft to replace.
Fake.
And they say if they pay you, they want you to just be the greatest with no help.
It's a classic Cowboys
division. And our division right now, man, I don't know. If the Giants get Travis Hunter, it's gonna be hard for us to even win games in our division because of the front office not setting us up to win. It's not because of Dak. Y'all want Dak to win with high school players.
Yeah. Come on, Jalen Brooks, baby. He just as good as Travis Hunter. But in closing, man, because I got a few other people to jump in.
Yeah, man. The Joneses don't want to spend no money, man. Oh, man, $4 million? Nah, man, we can't hire you. Is that Dak Prescott's fault? No.
Right.
It's not Dak Prescott's fault. And y'all see that now. It's the Joneses because we got money. They can't blame it on Dak Prescott. They can't blame it on. We got $40 million and won't do nothing with it. Nothing.
Okay.
It's sad, man.
No doubt. But, man, appreciate you, man. But, hey, F them Giants, man. I can't stand them nor the Washington or the Eagles, man. We undefeated until we see them, man. We're going to make sure they going to.
I can't either.
I can't either. I know.
Man, Lord, you see the writing on the wall, though, man.
Yeah, indeed. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the only thing is, and that's he's not fear talking, y'all. There's not time to hit the panic button. What I'm getting at is these are things that could come about. These are things that could come about. You know, that Steelers game that we got a chance to play them last year, I said even on my live show, I don't think we win that game if Sierra husband is playing in that game. But Justin Fields, boy, he gonna give us some gifts. You know, he gonna give us some prizes there, and it is for what it is. So now we get a chance to play Russell twice this year if he's going to be the starting quarterback. And if Russell can't make it, Jameson will, right? So it's going to be a good season for us to see what we're going to move like, right? But I do like Malik Neighbors. You know, one to sneeze at. I do like their center, JSMN, Jackson Smith, something. Or whatever, JMS. JMS, right? So we'll see how all of that's going to roll. And keep in mind, like I said, you know, they was second place on defense in our division. Of course, Eagles #1 defense. So remove the cowboy goggles and see how we can have a better defense than both of those teams. But it's not going to happen overnight. Not going to happen overnight. All right, I got from the 832, then I got Coach Marv, then I got Coach Ricky, and y'all rest, hold tight. Remember, we got Cowboys Collective at the top of the hour, so at some point I'm going to stay as long as I can. I know I was out of town. I had to do some business work, but I'm back with you guys. So from the 832, you're live on the Nation, man. Go ahead, bro. What you got?
Oh, man. What's the greatest way to neutralize a quarterback, Law?
Neutralize the quarterback is to create pressure from the pocket. Right, so you move him off of his spot. Now he got to throw off platform. It throws the rhythm off. You know.
So we got the most disruptive pass rush on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Now I called you about this the other night.
Okay.
Why won't we go get another pass rusher?
Mike Green. Was you the Mike Green caller?
Mike Green. and you looked up his stats. And
I did saw that. I saw that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Keep talking. Yeah.
With 28 reps on the bench press, Law. Did you see his pro day yesterday?
Did he do 28 of them?
28, Law.
Damn.
I'm telling you, he's the most underrated player in the draft, Law. Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. It says
most productive.
Yeah, I got his stuff right here for context. He's 6'3.5", 248 pounds.
250.
Jaw dropping.
250 at the combine.
Yeah, 250 at the combine, so he's 2 pounds heavier. Or 4.25 short shuttle, 6.85 on the 3-cone. I love. That's what I really look for.
The best lineman in the draft. I mean, with the best time in the
the best time. Hell yeah, and they say they projected him to be a top 10 or 15 draft pick, and he had 17 sacks.
The best way to neutralize these quarterbacks in the NFC East, because we don't have you can't get everything in this draft. This is a rebuild. People just not talking about it, Law. This is a massive rebuild. We just got Dak and Micah Parsons hiding it. You know, we got two big stars.
Three. Lamb too. Yeah.
Lamb. But what you do, Parsons is the face of the franchise, so you have to deflect from that. We gave Dak 10 years, right?
Right. Technically, yeah.
So we gave him 10 years. We some kind of way, Jason Garrett messed up our chance at the Super Bowl with Zeke, Amari, Mike Gallup, and CD, right? So now we got to pivot and give Micah some help, because we can't rebuild everything because they already messed up, Law.
But here's the thing though, fam. Is faces of the franchise, they got to walk a certain way, speak a certain way, and I like Parsons, and Parsons too. He's too volatile. You know, it's like you don't know whether he's gonna be.
He's a producer, Law.
He is producing.
He's got the most sacks in NFL history in the first 4 years. That's why he's supposed to get this $45 million you've been talking about.
Yeah, he's gonna get 45. Yeah,
he shows up every Sunday, but in the playoffs, They put 3 men on him and roll him away from Parsons. We haven't had anybody to contain on the other side. That's why I told you about Green. So we put Green over there, 28 reps, Law.
Yeah, he is nice.
That means he's strong, fast, and he produces. Then you come back and go get your back.
Okay.
And then go get Dante Thornton in the 3rd round.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
There you go, Law. You might win 10 games with the highest paid quarterback in NFL history with CeeDee Lamb and that pass rush because they messed up.
Here's where I'm following you. You know, when you're talking about building a team, right?
Right.
You got to have the running back to take pressure off of the wide receiver and quarterback, right?
There you go.
Got to have that,
go.
right? They can force different fronts. You got to have an edge rusher that consistently get home. They can, they can slide the protection whether it's right or left. But you got to have an unsexy pick. Is that's the big boy that's down inside, and we talking about complementary players, right?
It's deep defensive tackles. You know that, Law. This is hello.
No, you still there?
This is deep defensive. It's a defensive draft, Law. You get defensive tackles in the 5th round. Look up Nazir Stackhouse from Georgia. You can't move him. You can get him in the 5th round. Elijah Roberts out of SMU. He had a 21% pressure rate. He'll be down in the 5th round.
Well, what if we do this though? Because I gotta let you go. But what if we do this though? And you bring them some. You got me thinking now. You bring in Mike Green. You bring in Mike Green, right? Then the 2nd round, you get that running back. The 3rd, you get it. It's just a toss up. If Alfred Collins is there, I think he can fall to the 3rd. I think you got to get him in the 2nd. Go ahead.
You can get Nazir. Check out Nazir Stackhouse out of Georgia. You don't lose with him. You don't lose with him. And he's just not as big a name. The only reason Alfred Collins is a big name because he's from Texas.
Yeah.
And they went to but you
the
get
natty. Yeah. Well,
look up big Nazir Stackhouse out of Georgia.
Okay.
You can't move him. 6'4", 335. You can't move him.
And we talking about a rotational piece at this point because they're gonna still roll with the politics, Mozzie and Osa and Solomon.
See, people are dismissing now. I mean, he might not be the greatest thing since last year.
Nah.
But he coming off 2 shoulder surgeries last year, and his rookie year, Dan Quinn messed him up. So he had no strength coming off 2 shoulder surgeries.
Yeah.
Then he have multiple. Yeah, so give him this year. Give Tyler God this chance, because like I say, people not seeing this as a rebuild, right? This is a rebuild, but the only reason we're winning is because we got such superior players in Micah and CD, and Dak is a top 10 quarterback. I give him that.
Right.
But like you said, you can't win by himself because he's not that. When people talk about these quarterbacks, even the great Pat Mahomes, like you said earlier in the show, he couldn't win by himself last year.
He couldn't win it. They struggled all year long. They struggled all year long.
I was telling people, I swear to God, I called it 40-20 Eagles for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I say I don't see how they beat the 49ers. They won on that muff punt. They haven't had no talent, superior talent to the rest of the league since they got rid of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey was in his prime.
You know what happened to the Chiefs though? They won how many rings they won without Tyreek Hill? 2, right?
Right.
But they won on the rebuilds. That's the craziest thing. Yeah.
It was the most amazing thing I ever seen.
Amazing, man.
Watch football.
Yeah.
And that's why I call Mahomes one of the greats. But last year he was scared to let the ball go. He didn't let the ball go to the 4th quarter, and that's why Worthy had the big game. Yeah. Because the offensive line was porous. The biggest move, the worst move the Cowboys didn't make this offseason was not getting Mekhi Becton and put him in there at right guard. $10 million $10 million a year, Law. A Super Bowl winning guard.
Yeah.
From your top rival for $10 million. That's nothing.
Right. That's Tony. That's Tony Pollard. What they paid. But they got a philosophy. No more than $6 million in the free agency. You're right.
If you give Dante Fowler $11 million at 32 or 33 years old,
right?
And we know most people go downhill after 32, right? in football because it's a young man's game.
Right.
You supposed to hurt your rival with the Eagles and put that big boy right next to that front, and you got the Great Wall again.
Man, I appreciate you for
Because
calling
guys don't
in,
get
man. Thank you so much, man. Well, let me lock you in. What's your name?
Russell from Houston, man.
Wilson. Okay.
H-Town. Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah, H-Town.
H-Town. Okay, hold on. Let me put this in for you.
H-Town Russell.
H-Town Russell. I got you in as that, bro. Keep it up, man. Thank you.
All right.
No doubt. That's a good call from Russell, man. It had me thinking. I still think with my philosophy of running back or a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, but if the board falls a certain way, don't window dress your board. If you got Mike Green up there above certain people, then make sure if you trade him back, that's my philosophy. Like if you got 3 players or 4 players tags that's touching, right? And if you trade back just a smidget and you still can get any of your 3 to 4 guys that you really like that's touching tags, then you can win with that. You can win with that because you're getting another pick in the top 100. But if you don't do that, I just don't have enough faith in Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams and waiting for that running back to come about in the 5th round. I'm just don't have enough faith in that. That's why I need to have that 4th round draft pick, or we need to draft a running back before we go into the 4th round because we don't have that pick right there. And a run at running backs can happen just like that, ladies and gentlemen. So good conversations. You stretch my mind out with the ideal of Mike Green. I said you can get those productions out of a Fowler, Sam Williams. We probably don't need it with this new coaching staff. I don't know. I haven't looked at gangs of tape on Mike Green if he's run discipline oriented. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been really looking at edge rushers like that. But if Mike Green is solid on run stopping, and if he can get in and fight Marshawn Nealon and fight Sam Williams for that spot and do something with Micah Parsons, then okay, you can't have too many edge rushers. But we raise the blade thin and inside, right? Boy, we thin at interior play. So just as much as we need a running back wide receiver, we need a DB, and I'm talking about cornerback. And we also need an interior guy that can move some stuff around. We can hope that Mozzie switch click on and Solomon Thomas and Osa, but it's going to be hard, bro. I got Coach Marv from the 803. You're live on the Nation, dog. Talk to me.
Hey, Law, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Coach. Yeah.
Law, I'm gonna make some people upset, man. And the reason why I'm gonna make people upset because as fans, and I'm one of them, we are so thirsty.
Oh yeah.
We are so thirsty. I think that we think the NFL and football is if you kick out the money and you get the names, you're gonna win. And so far, and so many times that's proven wrong. It is crazy that only 35 coaches have won. I mean, the Super Bowl's been over 60.
Wow, that's a crazy
35
stat.
Head coaches.
That's a crazy stat. Yeah.
And guess what? Only 34 quarterbacks. I'm talking about starting quarterbacks.
That's even wild. That's wild.
So
yeah.
They're kind of glued together when you're talking about what it takes to get to that point. And it's not nothing that, I heard somebody mention Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy took a Tampa Bay team and he got them as far as he can get them. And people talked about, he couldn't get over the hump. And then he went to Indianapolis and he took Indianapolis and got them over the hump with the talent they had. And he gave them a little bit more of a defensive presence. And Indianapolis went on to win the Super Bowl. And then the other guy came into Tampa Bay and gave them a little bit more offensive presence, and they went on ahead and they won the Super Bowl.
Right.
I have been saying for a long time, and I've been saying that since Mike McCarthy was here. I had said that this has been the most he's had enough talent to win, but he has not gotten the most out of what he's had.
There you go. Come on with it. That's what I was searching for. You know.
If I gave everybody a blind sheet of paper and tell them about how many Pro Bowlers and All Pros that this team had, when you talk about compared to everybody else in the NFL, none. And their record was 12-5, 3 years in a row. And when we get to a game, the first thing we start saying, well, we don't have enough. Let's add something else. Let's add something else. And what I think sometimes our players fall into, and what I don't like to hear sometimes my players say, I really don't like to hear our players all just talk about, well, get me this. We need to get this. When are someone going to say, can you get the job done?
Right.
Because we're asking for that free agent guy to come in, but on the biggest stages, collectively, between all our stars, did all of them show up
Nope.
in those games? See,
Nobody.
we talk about Dak when 21. Well, it's a tough defensive game between two teams.
Right.
Did we make the plays? Dak made a play. Did Diggs drop an interception? Did Michael Parsons get any sacks or make any other important plays? Not saying that we're going down on them, we're getting down on them, but have the collective stars did what they need to do to get to the point of saying we got to get there? Do they go in? The only person out here that says that, and that's why I give him so much credit. Dak don't ever say, I needed somebody. He always say that I need to play better.
I need to play. He followed the sword. Yeah.
And if we had a collective group, but this is where we fall into the confines is when you, this is where it gets bad, while accountability, not only for the front office, for players and coaches, get screwed because we got so many stories that come out. I hear today about Dak. They're talking about trading Dak. And law, I put out there on Twitter, you know I always said this, my acronym, one of my acronyms for the star. Seen, talked about relentlessly.
Yeah.
That's what the star is.
Yeah.
Seen, talked about relentlessly. And those things get us so screwed up. So we think, man, we got to get this player, we got to get that player. But collectively, when we look at the other teams, when you're talking about the Kansas City, one on a rebuild, they got guys that became stars that none of us saw that was going to become stars.
Wow. Yeah.
Because they put it, and then if we look at the team last year with Philadelphia, we could talk about Barkley.
Yeah.
But the coaching staff to get Beckham, but how Beckham went, people thought he was a bust.
Yeah, former first round draft pick.
To be dominant.
Yeah, played with a mean streak. But in closing, Coach, I got
closing. They drafted a slot corner and a second corner that turned out to have outstanding years. Did anybody talk about them when they were drafted, but they were going to be great? But they came up to be great. So, again, you can't buy all the players.
Can't buy them. You got to draft them.
What we need to do is we have enough. What we have to do is get the best out of what we have. And I believe we have enough because if you look at our championships before, nobody thought the ragtag guys that they had on offensive line in the 90s was going to become the Great Wall. Everybody had thrown them away.
Man, come on with it, Coach. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you. That's Coach Marv, y'all, from the 803. Let me say this though, and I know my Eagles people, man. They're gonna be like, yeah. And damn, I should have kept Marv on for this point. Real coaches don't run away from coaching, and you gotta. Can I get one cuss word, y'all? Can I get one cuss word? Say yes or no. Can I get one cuss word? I can get one cuss word. I got to do one cuss word. Kids, close your ears, Hot eyes. You can't bullshit this team. You see, the Eagles, they didn't put Bradbury out there because he was a veteran. They gave Slay some heat. They said, this is the young bull right here. We drafted him, Quinyon Mitchell. We going to put him out there. You see, but the Cowboys way is, we still have a veteran guy. I'm old enough to remember that even though we have the veteran guy and we got the young rookie, they still put Anthony Brown in over Cheeto Awuzie, right? And I'm sitting here like, hey, you drafted Cheeto. Put him in the game. But that's the problem with the Cowboys. Shoot, to a degree, Huff, that they picked up Bryce Huff, was garbage juice. And they put in some guy named Jalix, what's his name? Jalix Hunt, something like that. They didn't play favors. I'm not saying that we got to take a page from the damn Eagles, but you got to, if you draft a guy, Ryan Flournoy, right? At some point, you got to put him out there. You can't just sit there and say, well, next year, and the year after that. And the Cowboys fall right into this trap of playing a player that's a veteran over the guy that they seen shine. There's no doubt in my mind, I kid you guys not. And Wanye, when I see you again, I'm going to tell you again, you're a whole lot better than that damn J. Ron Curse. You was a whole lot better than some of the players this past season. You need to get out there on that field. There's too much talent to be sitting on riding the pine. There's too much talent. And the Cowboys continue to put their talent on the shelf and allow these others that they say, hey, we paying these guys. We need to see these guys. Yeah, Jalix Hunt. Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. All right, I got Coach Ricky from the 770. You live. You probably be the final caller because I got to jump on this other show. So make it quick, bro. You live.
All right, how you doing, Coach? How you doing, Law?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, bro. Talk to me, man.
Hey, I got some juicy information for you.
Okay, go.
And I'm gonna make it short.
No doubt,
okay?
no doubt.
I'm gonna give you names and everything, but it don't make a difference. I went to Hartsfield Airport with Coach Maloof. Right? Okay. Coach Maloof is the head coach at Norcross. Right?
Norcross, okay.
And we went to go pick up Coach Sanders. Coach Sanders used to coach with us. He used to be our recruiting guy. Now he's the recruiting guy at Alabama. So we went to go pick him up because he's going to spend a little time with Coach. Him and Coach Maloof's family real cool. All right, now we was at the airport. Now everybody knows how big Hartsfield is.
Right.
Okay, we was inside of we went inside the Starbucks. And we went inside the Starbucks. Guess who was in there? Will McClay.
Willie. Okay.
Yeah, Will McClay. Now, I want you to listen to me click, but don't y'all beat me up if it don't go down because it's a lot of stories out there. Coach Maloof was talking to Will McClay. We all introduced each other, and I met him. I was very excited to meet the man. So I let them talk, and I finally let him know I said I wasn't happy with the Dak Prescott thing. And he told, now y'all take, now this, I took what I'm about to tell you.
Grain of salt. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
He said, don't worry about it. We got some in the works with New Orleans before the draft. That's what he said. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all could bite my head. Y'all could do whatever you want to do. Say whatever y'all want to say. Everybody on your channel.
Yeah.
He told all of us, and I know he ain't gonna lie to Coach Maloof. They seem like they real close.
Right.
He said we got something in the works with New Orleans, and you're gonna be pleased with it. That's what he said, and left it at that.
That's how we got Peyton Turner. We did trade him.
I don't know. I'm saying if you listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying he has a no trade clause.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying that he can only get out of the contract if he agrees to it.
Yeah, he can get out if he agrees to it. And they're from Louisiana.
Makes sense to me. And because it's close to Mississippi, it's home. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, y'all keep your eyes on it. I know there's a lot of rumors out there, But I heard this firsthand from Will McClay's
From Will McClay's mouth. Okay.
New Orleans, look, a trade with New Orleans is in the works. And I'm going to let you go because I know you got other callers, man.
Yeah.
I just had to call you and let you know what I heard personally.
Oh, hey, man, hey.
All right?
Come on with it, man.
From the man that I think that is our GM. He is our GM, right?
Nah, he's
Will
player
McClay.
personnel guy, but, you know,
Personnel.
that's a fireball offense if he said it like that. But, hey,
Well,
I appreciate
he said it just like he said, and look, real talk, said it just like that. Don't worry. We got something in the works with New Orleans for the draft.
For the draft. So, man, breaking news on Law Nation Sports brought to you by Frenkel and Frenkel Law Firm, man. If that happens, man, Frenkel got to run me
Y'all
that
have
check.
A good one.
Yeah.
But don't look. If it ain't going down, don't jump on me like
I ain't gonna beat you up. I ain't gonna beat you up, Coach. Man, I appreciate
y'all
you.
be having a lot of rumors on here, but I'm saying, but I heard it straight from the man's mouth.
And this is for the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? To New Orleans.
It's got dealing with Dak in New Orleans.
And we have Carr. And we have Carr here. Appreciate you, bro.
New Orleans is the trade partner, and they got some in the works before the draft.
Before the draft. Appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, it's Coach Ricky, man, from the 770. So y'all heard it first from him if that goes down like 5,000 pounds. Oh, my God. The Rogue Shop breaking news of the hour is yeah, let's put the flower up there. Yeah. Come on, be sure to check out Rogue Shop for all of your holistic health needs, and be sure to use promo code LAW. Get 10% off of your purchases there, and go get your flour, man, because as my guy JD from DC states that, hey, I got breaking news, Law. That's some bullshit. But I heard crazier things happen, and that's why the title of the thumbnail states that this is the lion season, Yes, indeed, man. So, come on with it, man. Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, let's get on up out of here, man. I gotta make a quick out now. But for those who watching, shout out to Coach Ricky, man. I want to know if he's Slick Rick. Is this Slick Rick? Is that who he is, man? That would be dope, man. But I'm going to get on up out of here, man. One love, DC for life, man. I normally give y'all a long outro, but I'm late. Let's get it. Until next time. Salute. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Appreciate everybody, man, for being who y'all are. Cowboys Collective next, baby. Be sure to check us out. Yup.